Hey all, good morning and welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here, and it's the 1st of August 2022. We ended the last week really good, and I was very upbeat during the weekend. But this morning, the headlines and the sentiment have completely changed. So let's take a quick stock of that. Let's get started with our morning show. Last week was amazing. After a rapid rise last week, stock markets are generally set to cool down a little bit as profit taking sets in, and many stocks would have their momentum almost at the overbought level, and they need to cool off. So that's a given. But what I saw in the headlines this morning are really opposite to what I was thinking about. Things are looking much bleaker this morning thanks to the headlines. It's just a question of what it is that the investors are going to focus on at any given point of time that determines whether the market is going to be bullish or bearish. So at this point of time, looking at all the headlines, I think that we are likely to be opening bearish, but we'll check that out when we look at the TradingView platform and look at pre-market action. So let's go ahead with the news. Because as stock market price keep on raising, in the investor's mind, the risk-reward equation gets skewed more towards risk rather than rewards. And when we saw how Google and other companies accelerated in the market last week, we were expecting a little bit of cooling off. But here are the drivers for today. The very first news I have is that the home prices cooled in the sense that home price appreciation dropped 2 percentage points to 19.3%. Don't get me wrong, 19.3% is still a very hefty increase in home price. That's almost a fifth of the price getting increased every year. So from that perspective, homes are still expensive. The results of rising interest rates and a slew of layoffs and also demographic movement due to COVID, pre and post-COVID, those have done harm to some hot regions that were previously attracting a lot of home buying interest. Now they have now cooled off a little bit. So whatever I'm saying is not uniform across the United States, but there are dominant pockets where this phenomenon is much more prevalent. The average 30-year mortgage crossed 6% last month, so you can see that the number of people who would be able to afford an average home, which is increasing almost at the rate of 20% a year in value, is going to be reduced. New home builders are boosting incentives as they struggle to sell new homes. There are reports of buyers backing out of agreements, and pending home sales have fallen 20% in June as compared to the same period last year. Another data point to consider is that mortgage demand has declined, mortgage approvals have declined. So all those things indicate a softening home market, and I am therefore very happy that the Fed did not go ahead with any higher interest rate hike. I still believe that they should have done a 50 basis point hikes, but they have better data and better information. So we'll assume that 95 basis point is what was needed for the time. Now looking at European gas prices have moved from 40 euros in Q3 2021 to 200 euros by end of June 2022. So that's an increase of 160 euros, and that's a tremendous increase. EU GDP, as I pointed out on the weekend video, has grown positively despite all of this. So I am expecting that in the next quarter, Europe is going to show a decline in the GDP because they have done a lot of measures to restrict how much electricity is being used and so on. So I think all those things will have a bearing on their GDP in the next quarter, because ECB has also started increasing the interest rates. Another negative data point for investors this week comes from China. China's official manufacturing purchasing managers index, PMI, fell to 49 in July from 50.2 in June. This goes below the 50-point mark that separates contraction from growth. So because they are gone below 50 point, we are in a contraction phase. That's what the reading tells us. Another aspect for China is that there are many bank branches in, I think in Shanghai, which are not allowing withdrawals through ATMs. ATMs are for deposit only, and when people have to queue in for withdrawals, it's only 6 people allowed into the branch. So it's all becoming very difficult out there, and the reason being that banknotes are contaminated with COVID, and therefore there's an effort to prevent too much of money in circulation. But all said and done, at this point of time, there is a bit of problem in the banking sector out there, apart from the problem they already have with their real estate sector. But for the genomic investors, I think it's important to remember that big pharma is flush with funds. We saw great results and also positive statements by CEOs and business development managers in our weekend video, where big pharma is saying that they are willing to invest in any size of companies or deals. So many genomic companies in our watch list have multiple therapies in FDA clinical trials. Those are the ones which will definitely have no need to worry about funding. CRISPR Therapeutics, Beam, and Bluebird are three companies that seem to be close to FDA approval for their therapies. So that's a really good news that we should always keep in mind, regardless of all the negatives that we see all around us. Allogene has got 2 CD19 candidates in advanced clinical trials, and Caribou's CB010 CD19 candidate is in phase 1 trial. And even though both sickle cell and CD19 are crowded areas, it should be pointed out that many CD19 therapies are already approved and marketed by big pharma, and they're all selling around the 400,000 to 450,000 price range. So if any of these companies succeed, the kind of funding that they would generate is going to be tremendous. The point I'm making is that we need to stay patient. Markets have ups and downs, but in long run, they tend to go up. At this point of time, looking at all the market news, it seems to me that investors are looking more into the negatives than into the positives, and also the perceived risk reward for any more purchases or holding at the current price level seems to be more skewed towards risks for the investors, and therefore there seems to be a negative sentiment. But let's look at our TradingView platform and have a look at how the pre-market action is panning out. So here we are in our TradingView platform. I'm looking at the Nasdaq futures right now. It's down minus 0.25%. And we are still above Friday's price range. So that's a positive point I see here. MACD is also bullish. Momentum is also above average. So everything is looking good overall. It's just that the momentum is starting to drop a little bit. And we still have a lot of runway to go towards overbought status. So I'm optimistic that going forward, things should improve because we are still on a bullish channel. But even though we are on a bullish channel, you can see in this chart there is ups and downs. So we already reached a lot of ups, so we might probably come down before we go up again. So that's a natural progression that we have in markets. So if there is any bit of weakness today, I wouldn't worry too much about it because we are still in a bullish channel, in my opinion, and we have broken out of the bearish trend. Let's go on to indicators. First, I'll start by looking at US oil. US oil is poised to fall. It's already down 1.24% today. MACD is bullish, but momentum is falling. And we have reached very close to the diagonal line of resistance, and the 200-day exponential moving average is giving us support. This will be a crucial test today. If we manage to break down below the 200-day exponential moving average, I think that we'll see further drops in oil, and that will be a very significant breach. And if that happens today, I'll be really happy about it. QQQ is down minus 0.24% pre-market, and we still have support from the 100-day exponential moving average. That's what I'm keen about. And you can see that as far as Nasdaq is considered, we are still in a bear channel. It's just that we have a bull market in a bear channel. Unless we break through this diagonal red line, I wouldn't consider Nasdaq to be in a bull market. So with that said, I think MACD is looking good and momentum is also looking good. Hopefully this minor negative in the pre-market might get corrected. Let's go and have a look at the next one, which is S&P 500. It's up 1.46% as of Friday. And this morning, I don't see any trades so far. And we have a resistance which is coming up here at 415.60. MACD and momentum both are looking good. So that should be positive movement up there. And as far as the timing is concerned, I'm recording this at 6:56 a.m. I'm doing it a bit early. It's a holiday in Ontario, and I'm planning to go out for breakfast. We have been invited to a friend's place. So I'm recording this a bit early. At this point of time, there are no trades. And if there were trades in S&P 500, I would expect them to be mildly negative. But that doesn't mean that it precludes the opportunity for us to open green when the market does at 9:30 a.m. So having said that, I think I'm not too much worried about S&P 500. Let us look at Russell's IWM. Again, no trades for Russell's index in the morning. And we have the support from the 100-day exponential moving average. MACD and momentum both are positive and conducive. Dow Jones Industrial Average, no trades pre-market. And again, 100-day exponential moving average is a support. And we also have this diagonal line of support, which is a bull channel that is giving us support in the long run. We are very far away from this bull channel. So if any drop comes in, as I said before, even in the bull market, you will have ups and downs. So we may face some downs because we have been on a very, very sharp upward price movement, which is not sustainable. So we have to look at a little bit of cooling off before we move up further. So that's how I look at it. And if you look at VIX, the VIX is already below 22.73. And this small VIX that we have here is for today. And it's above yesterday's opening level. So that's a bit of a concern for me. But we do have resistance at 22.73. So we need to hope that that works out for us. Put call ratio ended up in neutral at the end of last week. And we were totally risk on as of last week. And the US dollar index continues to fall. And this is the candle for today, the 1st of August. And we have fallen below the 50-day exponential moving average. Again, as US dollar index falls, the money's fund is likely to go into gold, cryptocurrency and stocks. So it's good for the stock market. That's how I look at it. And then having said that, let us quickly look at the genomics sector. I'm going to sort this out just to make sure that we have all the winners on top and losers on top. So Verve was the biggest loser. There is no trades pre-market. Invite is up 3.68% pre-market. Heritas no trades. Bluebird is up 3.21% pre-market. That's a really good gain. And I think we have the earnings on the 4th. And if you look at Beam, it's down 13.46% pre-market. Let us see if there is any news out here. 12 minutes ago, Beam Therapeutics, Beam 201 investigational NDA placed on clinical hold. Shares plunge pre-market. So this is bad news for Beam Therapeutics. So expect a lot of price drop, and this could also affect Verve. Verve has got no trades, but expect that when Verve opens up in the morning, that could be a halo effect on Verve. And with that said, let me look at Pfizer. It's -6. Intelia, no trades pre-market. CRISPR Therapeutics up marginally 0.13% pre-market. ArcG no trades. PACV no trades. Vertex no trades. IDNA no trades. Allogene no trades. Novartis no trades. Caribou no trades. Regeneron no trades. SQZ no trades. And IMTX no trades. Teladoc is down -1.76%. Illumina no trades, and DNA is down -2.10. So as you can see, we have a mixed bag out here, and the Beam news is likely to impact our genomics sector. So I'm not that hopeful for genomics sector this morning, but I'll do a little more thoughts on this and probably come back with another video later today. I think we need a motivational video. I'll try to come up with something for you later today, and please keep your spirits up. This is not something that's going to indicate that the market is going into a bear turn at this point of time. Whenever anything is with the FDA for approval, there's likely to be a bit of risk that it may be on a hold or it may be turned down. Look at the positive side. A hold means there are some objections, some data requests, and Beam can provide those information, and there is still an opportunity for the hold to be lifted and us to proceed further. Beam 201 is basically a CAR-T therapy. CAR-T always had the issue of cytokinesis, and that could be one of those issues. I don't know. But so far, FDA has approved only 2 types of CAR-T therapies so far. One targets the antigen of CD19 and the other is BCMA. Whereas Beam is targeting CD7. So it's a new candidate that out there. So I'm hopeful that this hold will be lifted after necessary information is provided. So it's not essential to panic at this point of time. it would be better to just hold on for a while. I think the drop is an overreaction. We'll find out as time goes by. So that's what I would like to say about Beam Therapeutics. With that, I would like to bring this video to an end. And I would like to request you to join me at 3:30 p.m. on weekdays, because at that time I do a live stream and we have a little group out there who together we track the last 30 minutes of the market. We exchange market information. And I also have a question and answer session where I try to answer questions or do a quick technical analysis on a ticker symbol of your choice. And after the market close at 4 o'clock, I do a quick technical analysis on the index as well as all our genomic stocks with an idea of identifying what's happened during the day and what's likely to happen the next day. So please join me out there. And if you like this video, please don't forget to put a like out there. It helps YouTube promote our channel. And if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe and help us grow this channel. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.